The first two episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi are finally here, and today it seems like something everybody is talking about is the Inquisitors, specifically though the Grand Inquisitor. There will be spoilers in this video for Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 1 and 2. So with our spoiler warning out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. The biggest talking point is of course about the fate of the Grand Inquisitor at the end of the second episode, when the third sister, Reva, who's been portrayed as a sort of rogue Inquisitor, much younger than the others, and by the sounds of it, it seems as if the Inquisitors invaded, as they put it, quote, pulled her from the gutter. So I cannot wait to hear more about Reva's backstory, as it does not appear as if she was a fully formed Jedi like the other Inquisitors were. It's also clear that she has this information that Anakin is Vader by some important means to the story, as well as some personal vendetta against Obi-Wan Kenobi, as she says finding Obi-Wan Kenobi is what she is owed. This is why Reva ultimately betrays the Grand Inquisitor, who has been standing in her way for so long, as he personally wants the glory of bringing in Obi-Wan Kenobi, after believing that Reva was far too ambitious and that Obi-Wan was gone, with the fifth brother and the Grand Inquisitor both telling Reva that Obi-Wan was not theirs to capture. Of course referencing to the fact that Vader personally has been hunting Kenobi for 10 years now. But what exactly does this do to the larger Star Wars universe if the Grand Inquisitor is actually dead here? Well, the answer is he's not dead. But let's go ahead and break down exactly why. Well, obviously, first off, the Grand Inquisitor is the primary antagonist in the Star Wars Rebels series, and timeline-wise, Star Wars Rebels takes place 4 years after the events of Kenobi, meaning obviously the Grand Inquisitor does actually survive this, not to mention that he's also featured in some other promo material and even glimpsed briefly in some trailers past the events of these first two episodes. So what exactly does this mean for the future of Star Wars based around the Grand Inquisitor? Well, as far as we know, Reva only makes her canon appearance in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and there are far less Inquisitors during the era of Rebels, and Reva is not one who is present there. Essentially, thematically, this does a few things for the character of Reva as well as the Grand Inquisitor moving forward in Star Wars lore. Based on the plot, Reva needed the Grand Inquisitor out of the way so that she could openly pursue Obi-Wan Kenobi, as the Grand Inquisitor was the one directly standing in her way, and now that he's out of it, she's clear to take the spot as the primary antagonist in at least episode 3 of the series. Not to mention that this also does a lot for the character of the Grand Inquisitor overall. As we know, Darksiders go through various transformations physically as well as mentally when they undergo extreme injury, which the Grand Inquisitor just did. Example characters obviously such as Darth Vader being the most prominent and famous one, or characters such as Maul. So what big change are we to expect from the Grand Inquisitor now based off of this massive injury? Well, it's clear that he almost seems a little bit lackadaisical in the Kenobi series when hunting Jedi, but in the Rebel series he's far more focused and vicious, and it's clear that Reva betraying him here likely has this impact on his character, making it his true calling again to hunt down Jedi, as again in Rebels, Kanan and Ezra are not specifically very high value targets, but the Grand Inquisitor still hunts them with a ferocity that is not present here in the Obi-Wan show. So it's clear through this injury and through this pain, the Grand Inquisitor likely becomes far more sinister than what we now see of him in Kenobi. This essentially is a big stinger at the end of episode 2, not to mention the Vader stuff, that the Grand Inquisitor is likely dead and will cause us as fans to tune into episode 3, even though we already were. It's a tactic that Star Wars has done time and time again, but again, rest assured the Grand Inquisitor is very much still alive. It's simply a big stinger and a big holy crap moment for the end of the episode. But anyway, friends and students of the Force, what did you think of this scene? What do you think of the future of characters such as Reva and the Grand Inquisitor? And did you believe that the Grand Inquisitor was dead when you saw the episode? Thanks as always so much for watching. More Kenobi news and updates coming, and may the Force be with you.